All right. Weston, thanks for doing this. Just wondering your impressions going into
Yo, come do a
your
joint one,
first
Tyler.
World Cup qualifying cycle, and and just kind of your thoughts on the challenges ahead, and kind of trying to restore the U.S. to the World Cup, and kind of its image around the world and with U.S. fans. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, I'm just playing. No, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of us. I mean, we're playing our first World Cup qualifiers, and I think we got a little bit of taste of what it can kind of be like in Nations League and also in Gold Cup with the competition that we're going to be facing, and obviously maybe we didn't get to experience the different type of conditions. You know, home field advantage and away and stuff like that. Bad pitches, maybe hot weather, maybe bad refs. I mean, it's just things that we're gonna learn on the way, and I think it's things that we're ready to adapt to as a group. And I think we're all just excited to take on this task and this challenge and see what we can accomplish.
Next will be Stephen Goff from the Washington Post.
Hey, Weston, thanks for your time. How much, as a group, has this team, or as Greg talked about the last World Cup cycle, and how much responsibility or burden that this young group now carries into the current cycle?
I mean, I don't think the group now really sees it as a burden. I think it's more so, we're not really trying to focus on what happened in the past. Obviously, it's going to be in the back of our head somewhere, but that's not our main, main fuel. It's not our main, focus. Trying to redeem what happened, years ago. I think right now we're just trying to create I guess, a legacy of our own. Create a new cycle, a new way of approaching things. And I think we're just, excited to be able to take on this challenge as a group. With many guys that we've known for a while, many people that we've played with for a while, played with and against in our club teams. And I think we're just, looking forward to this new journey, new cycle, and not trying to dwell on the past and kind of make it our own.
Next will be Drake Hills from the Tennessean.
Thanks, Michael. Weston, if I could, to jump to, obviously you guys are going to go down to El Salvador, but if I could jump to the game in Nashville, it's the home opener for you guys in qualifying. The last time, obviously, that you were down here was the Gold Cup semifinal a couple years ago. You scored. Of course, you were someone of a different stature, 2 years less of experience that you have now, and then on top of that, it would seem your role in the national team has increased as well. How do you see going into qualifying what your role is? How can you measure your growth? And are there any internal pressures that you're putting in on yourself in terms of your own expectations for qualifying?
No, I mean, you're right. I've definitely grown in the past 2 years. I've definitely taken on, different challenges and different roles in the team. I think now, it's such a young team with a lot of players that haven't been here for 5, 6, 7 years. A lot of us have been here for, more of the experienced players, which is funny to say, have been here only maybe 3, 4 years in this group. So I think, my role is just kind of developed in a way, trying to help the younger guys and trying to help people that, may have less experience on an international level, just kind of feel comfortable and feel just prepare them to what it's going to be like. Obviously, and I look up to other players as well that have been through the World Cup qualifying process already, and I try and learn from them and trying to connect the bridge, to the younger guys as well. And for me, I don't think I really put any pressure on myself. I think I just kind of, accept the challenge, and I don't really try to make excuses for myself, and because I know my role, I know what I can bring. I think people have seen what I can offer, and I don't think they expect anything less from me. And I'm my biggest critic, and I don't really expect anything less of myself either.
Next will be Ron Blum from the Associated Press.
Hey, Weston, what are the challenges of playing together with the group where you guys haven't had that many minutes on the field in matches? And if Christian isn't available to go, what are the attributes either Conrad or Brendan brings to the group?
I think obviously both of those players, in the case Christian is not able to come out, I don't know, but in the case of both of those players, they're both getting international competition overseas, playing against top competition. Brennan's a great player. He's able to get the ball, turn, and drive with the ball down the middle, make good passes, work defensively as well. And Conrad also. I mean, they're a little bit two different players, in my opinion. Conrad is able to take players one-on-one out wide and use his speed to run in behind the line. I think they both offer different things to the team, and I think they both are able to contribute to the team in one way or another that'll benefit us. So I think whatever the coach sees and whatever the coach decides, I think the team and those players are ready for that to happen, and the players are ready for the challenge, and the team's ready to accept them, and yeah.
The second part was about the group and not having played a ton of minutes together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that the guys and the team is kind of used to. I think we all are prepared in our own way, shape, or form, just to come into camp knowing that we don't have a lot of time to prepare, and just being ready to play and being available. That's why we have to stay focused in training, and why we have to give our full attention in training, to listen to the coaching staff and their ideas, because they have time to work on it while we're playing with our clubs, and when we come in, we're all eyes and ears and trying to execute the best way to win games and get 3 points.
Next we'll go to Doug McIntyre from Fox.
Thanks, Michael. Hi, Weston. There's this idea that the formula to qualify for World Cup is you win your home games and you try to get a point on the road. U.S. team didn't win any games on the road the last cycle. I'm curious how you're approaching the El Salvador game in that regard. I mean, obviously 3 points would set you on your way, build some momentum, but there is that formula that I mentioned. I'm curious how you guys look at it. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, we're kind of a new generation. We're kind of a bunch of new players that weren't with the last cycle during qualifying. And our mentality, the coaching staffs, I think, from top to bottom throughout the U.S. organization here, I think our mentality is to go in and win all of the games that we can. I don't think we really have a formula of, let's win our home games and grab a couple points on the road. Our goal is, to prove also that we're the best in CONCACAF, and I think the only way to do that is to dominate it, and to dominate you got to win your games, and that's what we're here to do.
Next will be Charles Bone from MLSsoccer.com.
Hi, Weston. I believe some of your first youth national team experiences were with camps and teams that Hugo Perez coached. And so I know it's a long time ago, but with him being your opponent this week, I wanted to see if you had any recollections from that period, if there was any kind of influence he had on you, and what you think of his work with El Salvador.
You talking about Hugo Perez?
Yes.
Nah, I mean, it's been a long time ago, and to be completely honest, I was involved, but I wasn't really, involved in the youth national team levels. So I was always kind of on the back burner a little bit. So I didn't really get a lot of one-on-one coaching from him, and a lot of, experiences on the road and traveling with the team in competition. But I'm sure he will have something planned to go against us, and I'm sure that he's preparing his guys the best way that he can, and I guess it's just gonna be about how bad who wants it more on the field and who's better prepared.
Last question for Weston comes from Arva Skalarczyk.
Weston, I know you haven't played in a World Cup qualifier, but do you have memories of watching qualifiers, or are there any qualifiers that stand out in your mind that you could remember watching? And as far as the Nations League final goes, how important was it just to have that experience as a group dealing with adversity, coming back, and then getting a win in that kind of environment? How important was that just for the kind of evolution of this team, especially heading into qualifying?
The first part of that question is going to be pretty short, to be honest, because I don't really watch sports, so I didn't really tune in last time to the World Cup qualifiers. I watched highlights of the Trinidad game, obviously, I think like everyone else did, but yeah, I don't really watch sports, so I didn't really catch a lot of them. So I don't have a lot of experience in watching them. And as far as the Nations League, could you repeat a little bit of that question?
Yeah, just how important was it for this group to kind of go through that together? Because you mentioned how young the group is, but obviously when you go through something like that, it kind of helps your evolution as a group and as individuals. How important was it to get that under your belt as a group, especially heading into qualifying?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think all of us were we're excited to go into this qualifying, just because also we know what to kind of expect in many ways. We've played against Honduras and the ability for them to be able to waste time in many different ways that we have probably not seen so far. And I think we know what it's gonna kind of be like. Obviously, it may be different once we get there. And play in a way field advantage and stuff like that. But I think we've prepared ourselves with the amount of games that we've played and the amount of tournaments that we've been playing in against these CONCACAF teams. And I think it's something that we appreciate and we definitely value, because it's only going to help us and make us get better and be better prepared for World Cup qualifying. And that's the ultimate goal, is to qualify for the World Cup. So that we can, get back to the big stage.